How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today we are talking about Workhorse again, and I did a video just last week about my price prediction for Workhorse, and there's something that I didn't cover that I want to talk about today, something that could send the stock price up like crazy. And I think it's a very real possibility that this occurs. So I'm going to go over this. I'm going to try to explain what this terminology is, what a short squeeze is, and show you kind of what the potential is for it and talk about why it's important for Workhorse. So I'm going to talk about that, but before we do, if you don't mind hitting the like button, I really appreciate it. It means a lot to the channel. Also, if you haven't hit that juicy red subscribe button down there, that means a lot to me. We are getting close to 7,500 subscribers, and for some reason, I've always liked the number 7,500 or 750, 75. All those just are a real nice number to hit. So if we can hit that here in the next day or two, that'd be awesome. I really appreciate it. Also, there are links to M1 Finance down below. They're my favorite brokerage. So if you want to start investing in Workhorse and you want to help out the channel, you can invest using that app down below. You just click on the link. Then also there's one to WeBull too. If you sign up, you can get free stock worth up to $1,650. And also once you're signed up, they run different promotions and stuff right now. If you sign up and then let's say you refer someone else, you can get 3 free stocks for referring the other person, each worth up to $1,600. So you can get over $6,000 worth of stock if you're lucky and you download the app and refer someone else. So let's get into it here. Workhorse is up pretty significantly on the year. As you can see this, it was a $2, $3 stock a while ago, around even through May this year. And then it shot up when we heard that they were vying for this USPS contract, that there's a potential $6 billion contract that they were fighting for. Then since then, it's kind of been up and down a little bit, right? So it shot up all the way up till about $20 or $21, and then it's come back down a little bit, and that's floated between 14 and really 18 or 19. And we saw a nice day on Friday last week of about 12%. So I am a share owner in this company. I own about 22 shares, so not a massive position, but I do have a buy order in for more of these. And for me, I believe in this company a lot. I think it's going to be a really good value, and I realize that it is very speculative. So this is not something like Facebook or like Berkshire Hathaway where you just expect it to go up every year. This is something that I realize it's kind of hit or miss. So if they don't get this USPS contract, they're still a good company, but I realize that the stock price is going to dive. So what that means, who knows? We don't really know how the market will react, but I think first of all, I think they are going to get a good portion of this contract. And second of all, I think that they are a good company in general. The reason I think it was a $2 or $3 stock before was that just not too many people knew about it, and not too many people had really researched it and thought about it and really realized the value in this company going forward. So if you don't know what they do, they make final mile delivery vans. So think about USPS, think about Amazon, Walmart, all those different kinds of companies that need to bring a product to your door. Those use final mile delivery vans. Also, if you think about refrigerated trucks, they are going to try to probably get into that space. So they've talked about how they would be interested in that in the future. They've said, the CFO said that they are in talks with all different companies. Basically, if you can think of the company, they are in talks with them about deals. So it's an interesting time to be an investor in Workhorse because there's so much possibility in front of us. Now, with the stock price shooting up so much recently, with it going up 600%, there have been some people that think it's overvalued. So some people think that it shouldn't be up this high. So what they've done is they've done what is known as shorting the stock. So I'm going to try to explain what shorting the stock is and what a short squeeze is, because a short squeeze could send this stock up to an insane price level that would be awesome to see as an investor. So that is something that not too many people have talked about with Workhorse, is a potential short squeeze, but I think it's going to be really interesting. So with a stock, most people know what investing in a stock is, buying shares is, right? So you believe in a company, you think that the price is going to go up over time, you think that they're going to continue to do more and more business, they're going to bring in more money every year, or they're going to eventually bring in more money. So you invest in the stock, you buy shares of a company, which buys you ownership in the company. So most people understand that. If you think the price is going to go up, you buy shares in the company to own some of that profit. Now, if you feel like a company is going to go down, maybe you think it's going to just slowly die off over time, or maybe you think it's going to dive real quick. Most of the time, these people believe the stock is going to dive real quick, so they might think it's overvalued or that there's going to be bad news coming out, and they'll do what's known as shorting a stock. So this is actively betting against a stock. So most people, when they think that a stock is overvalued, they just don't touch it. They don't buy shares of it. Maybe if they have shares, they'll sell them off. But if you think that the stock price is going to drop down dramatically, some people will short the stock. So they are essentially buying shares from someone else, paying a little bit of money to do this, selling the shares, and then hopefully buying them back at a lower price later. And then whatever that difference is, they get to keep. So if they take the shares for $10 a share, they pay 50 cents, let's say, per share to be able to take control of these shares. They then have the shares at $10 a piece and the 50 cents extra. They sell the shares so they get $10 a piece for them. Let's say the price goes down to $5.50 later. They buy the shares for $5.50 and then give them back to the original owner. So then they sold all these shares for $10. They bought them back at $5.50, so they make $4.50 per share. But then they also had to pay 50 cents in the beginning, so they made $4 per share because of the fact that they bet against a stock and they thought it was going to go down, and then it did go down. They could buy them back for cheaper. So if this is still a little bit confusing, another way to think about it is, let's say you had trading cards as a kid, right? So you have these trading cards, you're all into trading cards, and you realize that one card, maybe it's a football team or something, or a football player. The football player had an amazing game, and now for some reason people are willing to buy these cards at insane prices, right? So they're paying maybe 2 or 3 times as much for these cards as normal because this player had an awesome game. You realize that one of your friend has maybe 3 or 4 different cards, but you don't have any, and you think the card is overvalued, so you say to your friend, hey, I'll give you $1 to be able to take your card, and I'll give you it back in a few months. I'm going to sell it and buy it back. And your friend says, okay, I'll take the $1 and then I'll just get the card back later, so that's awesome. I get the best of both worlds here. So you take the card, you sell it off right away. You wait a couple weeks, you realize, okay, the player isn't doing a good job anymore. Maybe people are selling off their cards for a lot cheaper now because of the fact that he's not playing as well. So then you buy it back from someone for cheaper than what you had originally sold it for. Then you give it back to that person, you're able to make the difference. So you were able to take advantage of the fact that people were being maybe irrational in what they were paying for this card, and you were able to make money on that. However, let's say he continues to play well. Maybe he gets the MVP award for the year. Then the price of the card goes up like crazy. Then it's much harder to buy that card back. Maybe it's twice as expensive when you have to buy it back because, your friend really needs that card back. You paid money to take possession of that card, and then you have to buy it back for a higher price later. Now, some people will bet against a company, and if there are too many people that bet against a company and the stock price goes up, that can cause what's known as a short squeeze. So right now, Workhorse is very highly shorted. So if we look at the company, they have 23 million shares that are shorted right now. Now, what's this mean for the company? That means about 22% of the company is shorted. Now, what can happen is, let's say the stock price goes up and those short sellers have to buy back the shares. Well, if the stock price is going up, they have to buy back at a higher price, which causes other short sellers to have to buy back at a higher price, which can cause more and more people to buy. So not only do you have retail investors that see the stock price go up and start wanting to buy in because maybe they feel like the company is a good value or there's some great news or something. Not only do you have those people that are buying, but now you have all these short sellers. So the 22% of people that own this company are short sellers. So they are buying back into the company now, and that causes the price to go up even more. Now, one example of this, which has just been insane about 12 years ago, was Volkswagen. So Volkswagen has arguably the biggest short squeeze of all time. And I'm going to show you this. It is really interesting. You should take a look at it on your own time too. But they became one of the largest companies in the world pretty much within a couple weeks here because they were short squeezed. If we look at their chart here, in 2008, they were trading, and Porsche was trying to buy some shares People thought that the company's value was going to go down, but Porsche wanted to buy in. They announced that they had options to buy a very large portion of the company. And as you can see here, it shot the stock price up about 500%, right? So it went from about a $200 company to almost a $1,000 company within a day or two. We had massive moves when that happened. And I personally was not invested in the stock market around that time, but you can see what can happen. And as we see it here, it's not like the price had gone up on some really awesome news or anything like that. The price pretty much came back down. So I'm not a financial advisor or stock analyst or anything like that. But if we see some good news from the USPS contract, we are going to see the stock price just go up in general. But then we also might see a short squeeze. So we might see the stock price go up dramatically because not only do we have good news, but we also have a short squeeze that's coming. So this could cause the price to go up to levels that I did not talk about in that stock price analysis video. And it'll be interesting because this short squeeze was very short-lived. As we can see here, it was right back down a few days later. But if you're lucky enough and you can cash in on that short squeeze, that is going to be awesome. Of course, it's really hard to time that because there's no way of knowing how high it will go. Some people, I'm sure, cashed out when it went up to about here, when it went up to 2 times the value that was before. I'm sure some cashed out around 3 times the value. It's really hard because you don't know when it's going to come back down. And then if you wait too long and it comes back down, maybe you think it's going to go back up. But it's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully we'll get news from the USPS contract sometime this month. If not this month, maybe next month. But this is something that I wanted to bring to your attention because as a shareholder, I think it's really important for you to know the short position. And this is something that I hadn't paid a lot of attention to up until the last week or two. But it is something that I think should be on everyone's radar. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you for hitting the like button and commenting. What do you guys think about this? Do you think that they're going to get the USPS contract? What do you think about the short position? And then also let me know if you have any questions about short sellers or about a short squeeze. Thank you guys again for using those links to M1 Finance and WeBull. Also, there's a whole bunch of other links down there too if you want to look at all those and see if you want to support the channel in any other way. We do have a Patreon and we talk about different stocks and different ideas a lot in there. We're up to 12 members, so hopefully that will continue to grow and we'll continue to gain more throughout the year. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.